enormous day in the Atlantic Coast Conference. It's the Clemson Tigers going on the road to take on the NC State Wolfpack inside PNC Arena for ACC Hoops. And this is ACC basketball presented by your local Ford dealer. It's the only regular season matchup between the Clemson Tigers and the NC State Wolfpack here in Raleigh. And it is great to have you with us for our game this afternoon. Tom Wormy along with the All-American from Duke, Mike Cheminsky. And Mike, we have one of the superstars of the ACC on display. For the NC State Wolfpack, it's Darian Sebron, top 3 in scoring and rebounding in the ACC.
And Tom, he really exploded on the scene in the non-conference schedule. He's continued that play in conference as well. He's become a primary ball handler, does all of his work inside the three-point line, but he can get in, finish at the rim, and he's also terrific at finding open shooters out on the perimeter.
He and his teammates coming off a huge win on the road at Virginia Tech earlier this week. It's time for our Hardy star to watch. He wears the Clemson Tiger uniform. It's P.J. Hall, their leading scorer.
Well, and P.J. Hall did most of his important work in the summertime. Really hit the weight room, got a lot stronger. You really see that improvement from freshman to sophomore year. But he gives them a good outside presence. He can score inside, and he's also conditioned better. He can play 30 to 35 minutes.
And he is his teammates trying to rebound from a loss earlier this week at home against the Virginia Cavaliers. It's the Pack and the Tigers. The starting lineup's the opening tip for PNC Arena. Here's their Toyota starting lineup. Terquavian Smith, the freshman's been an enormous addition. Second best freshman scorer in the ACC. And he had 17 points and 7 boards in the win earlier this week on Tuesday on the road at Virginia Tech.
And Tom Smith's first start was in a league game against Louisville, and he has not looked back from that time. 47% from 3 in conference.
9 straight starts, including this afternoon for Smith, wearing 0 for NC State in the white. Tigers and Tyson in the orange over the front rim. Not enough to follow. The miss by Collins. Loose ball. And the Wolfpack comes away with it. And Sebron
trying to take advantage of the mismatch with Allen inside on Hunter, but he couldn't get it to drop.
NC State 8-7 so far this year. G-Man 1-3 in conference play. That win on Tuesday at Virginia Tech. They're first in the ACC this year.
Yeah, and that was a huge mental health win for this team and a terrific road win.
Turnover. Helms intercepts the pass intended for Tyson. Allen for 3 for the Pack.
And he's become a very effective player for the Wolfpack. Got his first start against Florida State and really has become a part of the rotation.
Just his 9th made 3 of the season for the redshirt senior from right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and a transfer from Nebraska. Hall had to send it back out to Tyson for 3. He misfires once again. And here's Smith.
And that's what Hall's going to have to learn. The respect NC State showed him, double teaming him, a nice pass out of it, but they don't want Hall to get going.
Pack snapped a 5-game losing streak with the win in Blacksburg. Allen in traffic. Tawana trying to work on Hall. Over the shoulder, comes up short. Collins is there to grab it.
Trying to attack Hall, make him defend a little bit, but nice job on Dewan on that hook.
Collins trying to work against 3 defenders, and it ends up over top of the backboard.
Not unusual to see a little sluggish offense here with the noon start.
Kevin Keats is in his 5th year, Mike, as the head coach. 87-54 overall. His record inside of PNC Arena, a staggering 51-16 on this floor as the head coach of the Pack. Helms unable to get to the rim. Sebron, he's behind the line, lets it fly and hits it.
And that is not part of his game. It's only his 6th 3 of the year. I mean, he starts knocking those down, he's going to be illegal to guard.
He averages just 22% from beyond the arc as Hall comes up short. And the Tigers struggling early on for Brad Brownell.
0 for 5 to start the game. I really didn't like noon starts. Really tough to get the motor going.
I've heard that a few times. Helms
this is an NC State team that has struggled shooting this year mightily. Behind the arc, inside the arc, just about everywhere. But 3 threes to start the game.
As a team, Mike, they came into the game shooting just 32%, 12th in the ACC. You would not know it by their performance so far. That's honor the miss. Hall will follow for 2.
And you know what? He's going to have that opportunity. The reason why is because Dewana goes after every shot in the lane to try to get a block, and that left Hall wide open on the offensive glass.
And Dewana, one of the top shot blockers in the league, 2.5 per game and 4th in the ACC for 21 and white for NC State. Here's Smith trying to work on Tyson. Shot clock is at 10. Smith trying to play the 2-man game with Dewana. It was deflected.
Yeah, Tyson, nice job.
Smith at the other end, knocked it away from Hall. And then he can't connect with Helms.
Throw it to somebody wearing the same color jersey, fellas.
Looks like a noontime game, G-Man.
Yes, sir.
That's all right. Teams just trying to get their feel for this early start. Collins. Alamir Dawes drops it low. Hunter Tyson trying to make his move deep into the shot clock, and it's knocked away. Helms was helping out defensively.
And they still haven't been able to take advantage of that mismatch inside. He's got a shorter cover on him, but hasn't scored.
A 9-2 lead in the opening minutes of the first half between NC State and Clemson. Dewana trying to back it on in on Hall. Steps around him, couldn't calculate the angle, not high enough on the square.
And he's a guy, like Manny Bates, you'd have to come and double him, but Dewana, you can play one-on-one, and a great take, and that's a little lazy defense by NC State.
First bucket for David Collins, the senior from Youngstown, Ohio, and a transfer from South Florida.
This is an older team, Clemson, and I think that's going to, suit them well, especially on the road.
Helms, catch and release. That's off the mark. Dawes. Trying to work around the Hall screen. A runner from Dawes.
Yeah, and his scoring has been off in conference. His shooting, his field goal percentage is down. A good start for him.
Dawes, who is a double-figure scorer.
I think Hall got up.
He did. He recovered. And now Honor launches a 3, both sides of the rim and out. And who is that off of? That is going to be NC State basketball. How about the Wolfpack shooting from long distance? Sebron getting into the act. And it's a 3-point lead for the Pack on their home floor. Our game, the Tigers with the next 6, and here we are in the first half, ready for the Ford Keys to the game with Mike Jaminski.
Well, for Clemson, they're just going to have to take care of the ball, handle NC State's pressure. NC State already has 3 steals for 3 turnovers. And for the Wolfpack, defend the 3. Clemson, the best shooting 3 in the conference, 41%. Although Clemson's only had 1 attempt in this game so far, they make, on average, almost 9 threes a game.
NC State for Coach Keats, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. And they only shoot 32% as a team from three-point real estate. But they are finding the bottom of the net so far. Struggled recently, though. Their last field goal at the 17-16 mark. Sebron trying to end that drought, driving into a group of players, and a foul was called. Brad Brownell, the head coach of the Tigers, 11th season, over 200 wins. That's the most in school history, the 210. And he's got 101 ACC victories as the head coach of the Tigers.
And, Tom, we talked to him yesterday, and I asked him if this was the best shooting team he had, and he referenced the Sweet 16 team they had of a few years ago as maybe comparable, but this guy, talking to the state coaches, they can put 4 guys out on the floor that can knock down threes.
2018 was that Sweet 16, just the 4th time in school history for the Tigers. And that came under Coach Brownell. They had 25 wins, and that tied a school record back in 2018. Here we are in 2022.
And just a false press up front, tried to take some time off the clock.
Clemson struggled early on. They were 0 for 6 from the floor. They've hit 3 of their last 4 shots to get back into this one early. Collins nowhere to go. Chase Hunter's come into the lineup for the Tigers. Collins will launch at 3. Online, miss, all. Offensive glass for 2. P.J. Hall.
Second basket, second offensive rebound for him. The same way we talked about his ability with Duana out there to get on the glass.
Hall, who averages just over 6 boards per game and leads the team, 14.3 points per game for the sophomore from Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Really a lot stronger than last year. And that's, you see young guys, they really make a big jump if they're committed between their freshman and sophomore years.
Hunter with the D.
Travel.
Helms, yes, Mike, exactly. Helms traveled.
Just working, and just because he kept moving, he got Duane on his back and then right up at him, not able to elevate as a shot blocker. You see the numbers. I mean, you talk about improved players. P.J. Hall, and there's a careless turnover.
Hayes with the basketball for NC State. Just checking on the clock.
Well, they reset it at 20, and that was a turnover, so they should get 30 seconds. Was what they're setting up right now. But I talk about, we got 2 of the most improved players certainly in the conference, and Darian Sebron may be the most improved player in the country. But him and P.J. Hall, I mean, they have really made dramatic jumps.
Shefflin has come in for the Tigers. Where's number 1? Gibson is in there as well for NC State. He's number 11. And Hayes with the basketball. Also Morcell, 14 in white. So some substitutions for these teams. And an interception, Collins. Nifty with the basketball. Trying to lead the break. Drops it from Bohannon. And it was knocked away by Sebron.
Terrific recovery off of the break.
And now Sebron for 3.
I tell you, going forward in the game, they would really love him to settle for 3-point shots.
That fouls against NC State. It was Bohannon who was driving the lane and kicking, and he ran into Morcell, his first personal.
Well, here's that look, and it looks like an easy 2 points, but that's a great recovery defensively.
Sebron made the play. The redshirt sophomore guard from Norfolk, Virginia, will come out of the game.
Now, we talk about Sebron. Really, he's a ball hawk and he makes steals, but that's his first block of the year.
Well, he also leads the team, Mike, in steals and assists per game as well, along with the scoring and rebounding.
Well, and with Terquavian Smith shooting the way he is, they've got him playing off the ball more, and Sebron is more of a creator in the offense.
Dawes with the basketball. Hunter crossing the 12-minute threshold of the first half. Hemingway has come into the game. He's 12 in orange. Shot clock is down to 6 for Shefflin. Trying to work on Gibson with a hook. NC State had it well boxed out, and here's Hayes.
Both of these teams comfortable at about the same pace in the game, so no real difference there.
Morcell with the ball. He's the transfer from Virginia. He played a couple of seasons. Hayes set up for a 3. NC State got it right back.
And that's the thing with Clemson. Their guards are small, so there's going to be some rebounding opportunities for NC State if they can get in, especially on long threes.
Morcell trying to get around Hunter. Ran into Shefflin deep into the shot clock. And he has earned a couple of free throws. Shefflin defending, and he picks up his first personal. When we come back at the free throw line. Market, voted #1 best supermarket in America. And by Works Nitro, the Works Nitro, available at WorksNitro.com. Couple of national championships in the history of NC State basketball. Like in 1974 and Coach Galvano in 83. And the rich tradition of Pack basketball as they host the Tigers here at PNC Arena. Both teams find the rim and the net and measure some shooting. Clemson, which is one of the better shooting teams in the conference, Mike, struggling right now at 29%, 33% for the Pack, but they're struggling because they haven't scored a bucket since 17-16 of this half.
Well, they came out and they knocked down those first early threes, and it hasn't been much since. And that Clemson number a little bit skewed because they've got 3 offensive rebounds, 2 of them for buckets, so they're doing a nice job on the offensive glass.
You want to stay tuned for the Fast Break presented by your local Ford dealer. It's coming up during the course of our broadcast this afternoon, so glad that you are with us.
I mean, we talked about Cam Hayes and his struggles. Casey Morsell the same way. I mean, in the last 8 games, he had 2 DNPs and 15 points total. So they need him to come alive offensively off the bench.
67% from the line this season for Morsell. NC State as a team, 71% from the line. That's 10th in the conference.
Just the shooting across the board, really, they struggle.
So the Clemson run right now is 8-2 after the free throw right there by Morsell. And again, no field goals for NC State. Going on about 8 minutes now. Hemingway, quick catch, quick release. Pass the board. Now Hayes for the Pack. Pulls up on Hall, comes up short.
Yeah, that high screen roll with Cam Hayes out there, not nearly as effective. You're going to make him finish.
Hall stepping into a 3. It's front rim. Tigers, Mike, the best 3-point shooting team in the league. 0 for 4 now. And after the miss by Hall, they're 0 for 5. Three-point lead for the Wolfpack. Scored the first 9 points of this first half. Morsell sheds the defender Bohannon and knocks down a 3.
Before it went through the rim, I didn't know that was a great shot. They're struggling off and that possession really going nowhere, but he bails them out with a made 3.
So Morsell with his 14th 3 of the season. He shoots 32% from beyond the arc. That's the 4th made 3-pointer in the first half for NC State. Hall was double teamed. Pass tried to pry it away from Hall. The foul was called against pass. That's his first.
Here's the look. I mean, this is like, he got pushed off of the screen, so he just, all right, I'll shoot a step back 3. That sounds good. And that's one of the reasons why he came here. He wanted to be more of a 3-point threat, leaving Virginia.
Junior from Fort Washington, Maryland. 2 seasons in Charlottesville to Morsell, and now wearing the colors of the NC State Wolfpack. Dawes challenges the defense. Knocked out of bounds. It was off of P.J. Hall.
Well, and it looks a little more inviting in there to go to the rim with Duana out of the game. Gibson not the shot blocker that Duana is.
NC State has not made a conventional field goal yet. All of their makes outside of the arc. 4 of 7, 0 for 4 inside it. Morsell with honor on him. Shot clock is at 8 for Helms. Trying to work on a Gibson screen right into the teeth of the defense. 2 on the shot clock. Whistle stops play.
And that really worked against Clemson. It was a nice defensive stand, but a kick ball. There was only 2 seconds left on the shot clock, but you get a reset to 20 now.
Sebron on the inbounds. Morsell wastes no time and misses.
I don't know if he thought there was still 2 seconds on the shot clock instead of 20.
Dawes doesn't need a shot clock at the other end, Mike. That's the first made basket on the last 6 tries for the Tigers, and 5 points now. Alabama Dawes after the 3.
And they got a number of guys, Tom, who can spread you on the floor, shoot 40% from 3. Dawes, one of them.
First 3 of the game for the Tigers. Smith wants one.
This is the thing you talked about, the baskets, that NC State can't fall in love with that 3-point shot.
Dawes, Bohannon's open for the layup. The Tigers have cut the lead to 1. His first basket for Bohannon.
And the interior has really been good for Clemson in this game. Nice back cut, nice passing.
Smith up and under. Circus shot. Had Hall on him, and a foul is called. Also a player down for NC State and Clemson. Collins was down for Clemson. There is the drive by Smith. Hall picked up the foul.
Yeah, the quick look ahead, and this is something that NC State or Clemson will do, and really wasn't great ball coverage. But here's Dawes, and he gets lost in the mix.
Naz Bohannon, the beneficiary of the pass from Dawes.
And this is Smith has been quiet. His first point of the game only has 1 field goal attempt, so has not been part of the offense in the first 12 minutes.
Dawes has 5 points for the Tigers to set up his teammate Bohannon at the other end of the court. Smith at the free throw line 60% of the season. Got them both for Coach Keats. NIT quarterfinals a season ago for NC State.
We talk about Smith, and he's done most of his work from behind the arc. He was 2 of 5 from the free throw line coming in ACC play, so hadn't been to the line all that much.
He had 17 points in the win against Virginia Tech, and that's Hall going up the ladder and rocking the stanchion with a jam, and he's got 6.
Yeah, Gibson lost a little bit, and I'll tell you what, you can just the improvement for P.J. Hall really shines through plays like that.
Helms does have a size advantage here against Dawes. Tries to shoot over him. Collins got the rebound and he was fouled. Sebron picks up his first personal. Bohannon, little drop off to P.J. Hall. And the Tiger bench loving that. A 1-point lead for the Pack in the first half. 7:38 to go in our first half of play. Let's go around the ACC for some headlines, news, and notes. Blue Devils have a big one tonight. Mike, they're taking on the Miami Hurricanes, who've won 8 in a row. Duke has won 5 in a row. Only ranked team in the ACC.
A lot of close games in the league. You see the 13 by 5 or points less. Michael DeVoe having an outstanding season from the defending ACC tournament champions. And but yeah, I mean, Miami, and they're sitting at 4-0, has not been smooth sailing for them. They've had COVID issues as everybody else, but they've just played through them. Cameron McGusty, Isaiah Wong having outstanding seasons.
Coach Charlie Moore in the mix as well for the Canes, who had a great come-from-behind win against Syracuse recently. They were down by 14 at halftime.
How about, and here we are at 7:38, and NC State has still not scored in the paint. Now, that grabbed my attention because of the way Darian Sebron scores. Everything he does basically is in the lane.
Sebron with just 4 points so far as the leading scorer for the Pack and 3rd leading scorer in the ACC.
And one of those was a 3.
That's the only type of shot that NC State has made so far.
Yep.
4 of 14, and they're all makes from 3-point distance. Tigers have not led so far this afternoon, trailing by 1 and in possession of the basketball. 10 points within the painted area, which is really kind of just a wood stain look here at PNC Arena for the Tigers. Working deep into the shot clock with Collins. Clock's at 3. Collins, the recognition, the drive, and the angle.
And Collins is really strong, and it was that strength that allowed him to get off the dribble, absorbed some contact, made a nice finish.
Giving the Tigers their first lead of the afternoon. Dewana set the screen. Collins ran into him. Foul on Dewana.
Talk about absorbing contact. That was a wicked screen and a foul. But here's the look inside. Just kind of leans in a little bit on the shot and able to convert off the glass.
And still for the Pack, Mike, just 1 field goal since the 17-16 mark of this first half. They scored the first 9 points of the game.
And it truly, they're very fortunate to be only down 1 at this point.
Clemson with the 10-point loss on Tuesday at home against Virginia. They had won 4 in a row prior to that game, including a win at Virginia. In their most recent ACC game prior to that, and Tyson with the turnaround.
Well, and Tyson is the one guy now with Hall out that they'll look for him to get some points inside.
Deep three from Smith. Collins over the top for the board.
I think that was more of a shot out of frustration that he hadn't seen the ball much, just launching an early three.
Collins, the pass in midair to the corner. Alamir Dawes with a three. And a timeout on the court by NC State. The run for the Tigers is 9-0 after the Dawes three.
Little conversation there with Brad Brownell, but we were talking off air. I said, well, this might be the time that things start to heat up for these guys, starting to get loose and into the rhythm. And that was a terrific find. You're going to, against Clemson, you're going to have shooters spread out. So if you don't have the layup, you kick it out. And that was a terrific look.
So Dawes is now 2 for 2 from long distance. He's got 36 made threes on the season, and that is the best on the team. 8 points in total for Dawes, who is now up to 127 career three-pointers. Nobody makes more, nobody takes more for the Tigers from beyond the arc, and they're rolling to a 9-0 run. And again, just one of their last 11 field goal attempts for NC State after they shot it so well to start the game, Mike.
Yeah, well, and they've really kind of limited Sebron in his ability to get inside. Smith has been quiet. They really haven't gotten much out of their defense as far as transition baskets.
So Sebron, Mike, and Morcell are the leading scorers with 4 points apiece for NC State. Dawes with his 8, Hall with 6. Those are the leading scorers for the Tigers.
And with this lineup out there for Clemson, they're switching at every position. Any interchange, with Hall out of the game, that Tyson can guard those guys.
That game they played against Virginia on Tuesday, Mike, 15 ties, 15 lead changes as Honor misses the shot and it rims off to the pack.
And you saw, and Brad Brownell was talking about the fact that they played well for 30 minutes.
That'll be Tiger basketball. Yeah, they got outscored in the final 5.5 minutes against the Cavaliers, 15-6, and shot just 36% of that second half. And the loss against Virginia.
And they win at Virginia, a game that played extremely well on the road.
Honor turns around and misses. Helms grabs it for the Wolfpack. His pass intercepted by Collins. 3-on-1. 1-on-1. Block. Foul on Helms.
And that's it's happened to NC State. That's been just very sloppy, very casual passes. That's their 8th turnover, Tom, and this just falling asleep. And that's really heads up defense by David Collins. He's really had a big impact on both ends of the floor.
And even though they've turned it over 8 times with the miss by Collins, no points so far off of the NC State turnovers for the Clemson Tigers.
And, we talked about slow start. I think the crowd a little slow getting into this game as well. Now, NC State, gave them a little bit early to cheer about with those threes, but Clemson's taken the crowd out of the game to this point.
Collins, after the free throws, got 5 points for the Tigers. Shooting 40% as a team, just 25% shooting for NC State. That's off the backboard and in. Sebron on the drive.
And that's where he's at his best. He can go both ways, left or right, but when he gets to his right hand, he uses that glass really well.
Bohannon dribbling, driving, and scoring to respond to the Sebron basket. Naz Bohannon.
Now here's the thing. I mean, this is a terrific take. Gets that little brush going to the right-hand side, but then immediately after a made basket, Clemson just drives it right up their back, and you got to get turned around. And if it's a missed shot, one thing, but on a made basket, you can't have that type of defense.
Bohannon is the transfer from Youngstown State. He's got 5 points now. And that free throw attempt by Bohannon just his 8th of the season. Now 5 of 8 from the line for the senior. And the Tigers, who trailed 9-0 right out of the gate, have the 26-18 lead. Sebron trying to do something about it. Definite contact in the lane and a trip to the free throw line for Sebron. Collins with his first personal foul for the Tigers. 71% from the line for Sebron this season. Before the next free throw, a message from Works Nitro.
Meet Works Nitro. Powerful tools for any project.
At Virginia Tech on Tuesday, Sebron, 21 points, 10 rebounds. Both of those numbers a game high, and his 9th double-double of the season. Played 38 minutes in that game. And now 3 of 4 from the stripe for Sebron and 8 points.
Well, and the game was impressive to me. And then it's just a casual turnover. That's the first time that NC State has been able to get the ball back in a while. Here's a look, and he's got to have more help right there. That Honor really was the only person available. You got to have at least another guy back. Shouldn't be surprised by NC State's pressure.
You're talking about Sebron, Mike. 39 points and 19 rebounds, both career highs in the quadruple overtime win against Nebraska this season.
That's a grown man double-double right there.
33 points in the second half and overtime of that win. Now, again, there were 4 overtimes. Allen's shot was altered. Here comes Collins to lead the break. The pass behind Honor. So that, Mike, is 2 consecutive unforced errors by the Clemson Tigers. And now 6 turnovers.
And really just a lapse of concentration. It wasn't anything that the defense did. It was just a lazy pass and just 2 guys on a different page on the break.
So we're inside of 4 minutes to go in our first half. Sebron elevating. Offensive foul against Sebron. That's his second personal foul on the drive and the contact. Step aside for a moment. Sebron looking for more scoring. Runs into Hunter Tyson. 6-point lead, Tigers. Now time for the Continental Tire recap. How about Alamir Dawes with the runner, Mike?
Yeah, that's the type of shot you want him, actually. You want to chase him off that 3-point line, but he's 2 of 2 from behind the arc in the game so far. Hit that little floater and 8 quick points. He's been the best offensive player for Clemson, along with P.J. Hall. And P.J. Hall's gotten a nice long rest here in that first half. They've extended their lead, and he's going to come back in the game now. But he's going to be, for our tire people, he's going to have a lot of treads left in the second half.
Well-crafted, Mike Jaminski. So great to be alongside the All-American Mike Jaminski. I'm Tom Wormy, along with our outstanding ACC basketball production crew with you. From Raleigh, North Carolina on a Saturday afternoon, this is one of 7 games in the ACC. Entry to Hall. Wow. Stepped around and threw the double and laid it in.
And what they want to do, and you've got Ernest Ross in there, who is the 3rd guy in the rotation for centers at NC State, but they want to get Hall involved quickly. Get him a touch, get him a basket. That was a terrific move.
8 points now for P.J. Hall. He leads the team, over 14 points per game. Smith thought his arm was hit. Ball knocked around and available, and it comes right back to Smith. He'll pump up another 3. Collins had the position for the rebound.
And again, I think just frustrated with his lack of offense. That was a quick shot on the turnover.
Shot by Honor over top of backboard.
And this is where the strength comes in. You see the shape up. He gets the defender on his back and then uses the rim as an ally. He just really made some great strides in 1 year.
Mike, how critical is that entry pass to be just in that precise spot where Hall can get it all in one motion is make his move?
Well, and also throwing it as a feeder of the post, you got to throw it away from the defense to give him a little momentum going in the correct way.
8-point lead for the Tigers. Matches their largest of the first half. That pass deflected. Collins over to it. Trying to pick it up, couldn't do it. Ends up with Hayes.
No recycle of the shot clock.
Allen, 4 to shoot. Morcell needs to shoot it for 3. Here comes Dawes right up the middle of the court. Tigers have had runs of 10-1 and 15-2, and they've built an 8-point lead. NC State's led by as many as 9. That one deflected. Morcell and Helms were defending. Here's Allen at the other end. Collins came in to help. Second effort up and good from Thomas Allen.
Nice job that time staying after it. He got his first shot blocked, but Clemson not able to get that initial rejection.
5 points now for Thomas Allen. Honor has some daylight. Misses the shot into Helms with the clearance. Back just 26% as a team, and that percentage going down after the miss by Helms, who gets bumped out in the corner. And that'll be Tiger basketball.
And I think, again, I think that the Wolfpack settling for jump shots. It looked like there was some room to get a little bit closer to the basket on that play.
Honor brings it up. 1:30 to go in the first half. Collins. Stripped away. Marcel just took it away. This is a three. And it's all net for Thomas Allen.
A nice little run by the Wolfpack here to close the gap, maybe get a little momentum in. And Brad Brownell has to burn a timeout.
Second three of the game for Thomas Allen, and Coach Brownell with some words of inspiration for his team.
Well, at opportune times, the three-point shot has really bailed NC State up. But Thomas Allen, we talked about it, new into the starting rotation, starting for Cam Hayes. And that just shot with a lot of confidence.
Thomas Allen now 2 of 2 on three-point chances. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll go driven with Kevin Keats, the head coach of the Wolfpack. Preview the Wake Forest at Syracuse game. First half highlights and analysis with the G-Man.
You know, Kevin made a great point yesterday. We were talking, and I said, man, that was a real mental health win up at Virginia Tech. You know, from the way you started in conference. And he goes, I think every win is a mental health win in ACC play, and I couldn't argue with him.
Coach Keats said they were stronger. Defensive rebounding, it was a big factor in that victory. They got 22 defensive rebounds in the win at Virginia Tech. Tigers with the basketball. We're inside of a minute to go in the first half.
Well, with their pressure, NC State trying to keep the ball out of Honor's hands in the backcourt, let somebody else bring it up.
Looking for Hall, taken away. Hayes. 8th turnover for the Tigers. Morcell let the defender go on by. Hall had the position for the rebound and the outlet to Dawes. About an 11-second difference shot to game. 40% shooting for the Tigers in this first half. Honor cut off. Now the defending of Hayes. Shot clock is at 5. Dawes trying to work the baseline. Corkscrew shot, and it's in with the spin.
And see, NC State really wanted that shot almost. They stayed at home out in the corners, and that was a great finish. He was looking to kick out.
Dawes to double figures. That's a three right before the horn from Cam Hayes. His first points of the afternoon to close out the first half and cut the Tiger lead to 2.
Well, for all that, it was a nice run in the last 3 minutes by the Wolfpack, and that's a tough cover. He had P.J. Hall right in his grill for a guy who really hasn't been shooting the ball well. 22% from 3, 1 of 16 in his last 4 games.
The Wolfpack 6 of 16 on three-point shooting, including that last-second shot by Hayes to make it a 2-point game. Halftime is straight ahead from Raleigh, North Carolina and PNC Arena. The Toyota halftime report. NC State and Clemson. And a 2-point lead for the Tigers after Hayes hit a 3 right before the horn for NC State, which made 6 3-pointers during the course of that first half. Kind of an interesting way to start this game, Mike. First of all, it's a noon start. I know how you feel about noon starts. So we were trying to gain some traction. NC State came right out, scored the first 9 points of the game.
And then Clemson, kind of clawed their way back into it. I think Clemson really got NC State to play the way they want them to. Only 2 made 2-point baskets for the Wolfpack and 6 shots. I don't know if they can keep up 38% from 3. Sebron's got to get going in the lane.
Sebron had 8 points to lead the way for the Pack in the first half. B.J. Hall also had 8 points. He is the leading scorer during the course of the entire season for the Tigers. Here's a sum of what he did in the first half.
Yeah, and again against Tawana, the shot blocker just rolling right into the offensive rebound and did a nice job. Couple of baskets for him there, and then on shape-ups inside. Nice catch and finish by him. And he was out for an extended period of time. We talked about it in the first half, so he should be really fresh for the second 20 minutes.
So here are the numbers from the first half. The Tigers, one of the better shooting teams in the league, especially from three-point distance. They're 41%, Mike, but just 2 of 8 for Clemson so far in this game. Good sign for the Pack or a good sign for the Tigers that they might come on strong in that regard in the second half?
Yeah, I think those numbers are inverse of what we thought was going to be.
Exactly.
And is Clemson going to shoot better than 2 of 8 from 3? Probably.
2-point game. This is the Toyota Halftime Report.
Kevin Keith, presented by your local Toyota dealers.
You're a positive guy. You bring energy wherever you go. And in the crazy world that we live in with the COVID and social issues, what do you think small acts of kindness mean in the big picture?
Well, you have to love during this time. We're in one of the toughest time, probably the toughest time of our lifetime, and you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what's happening in everybody's day-to-day life, and I think an act of kindness is what we need to get through this. I want to be so much more than a coach. And I think sometimes we lose the definition of a coach. You think the coach is the one who's out there in front and he's drawing up plays and he's yelling out stuff and, he's on you about your jump shot. But also with my players, I want to be a father figure. I want to be a big brother. I want them to know that my doors are open. And if that's my role, and if that's the role that the good Lord has put me in, I want to make sure that I'm there for those who need it.
Speaking of guys that need some love, a freshman after a Coach Keith's practice to start the season, what's it like acclimating new players into your program, and how do you ease them in versus throwing them in the deep end right away?
I'm very positive with freshmen. And I think everybody tell you, yes, I do a lot more coaching with freshmen. The guys who catch it the most are the guys who are sophomores, juniors, and seniors who have already been in the program. But with freshmen, I understand that each one of those guys, and we have 3 on our team, they're coming from different programs. They're coming from different styles of play. And so I'm more of a teacher with the freshmen than I am jumping on them. Now, if they continue to do the same things wrong, then we have a different conversation. But I like to be the positive guy with our young guys.
When the light bulb goes on, then do you coach harder?
When the light bulb goes on, I coach harder. When we start playing, I try to make sure that I throw everything at them in practice, and so they're prepared for the game. I don't want them to ever not be prepared.
Driven, Kevin Keith, is presented by your local Toyota dealers. The all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
ACC basketball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. By CPI Security. CPI home security that protects what matters most. And by Coyote Tractor. Coyote Tractor. We dig dirt. Statues of some of the legends in coaching for the NC State Wolfpack outside of Reynolds Coliseum, including Kay Yao, for whom that court inside Reynolds is named for. All right, time for our player comparison. It's Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, P.J. Hall, and Darian Sebron.
Yeah, P.J. Hall was very effective, very efficient in the first half. Only 14 minutes for him. And, for Darian Sebron, he got his points, but they kept him out of the lane for the most part, and he knocks down a 3. So I think especially Sebron and especially Smith need to get going. Smith 0 of 5, no points in that first half. All 5 of those were 3s. And nobody really in foul trouble for either team. except Darian Sebron has 2. And the place where you might be able to pick one up is off the drive, taking a charge on him.
So the Pack with the basketball to start the second half. 2-point lead for the Tigers. Sebron with 8 points. Thomas Allen also had 8. And there's Sebron again. It's 11 points now for Sebron. Second made 3. Mikey only had 5 made threes coming into the ball game.
Yep, and just showing actually nice form on the shot too. And Clemson almost got caught again with that pressure after a made basket.
So one shot. And the Pack takes the lead back. They take the basketball as well. Hellum's on the run. Trying to go around Tyson. Hunter was back there as well. Came up with the basketball with the foul on Tyson.
There's the look, and you know, this teams even in the second, even though he's knocked down a couple of them, they're going to be slow to recover out to Sebron, invite him to take that shot as this game. Now, you know, at some point, if he keeps making them, you got to jam him a little bit.
He is double figures in scoring every game this season, Mike. He's gone over 20 points 7 times. That's tied for the most in the conference. And his teammate, Hellum's at the free throw line, 80% on the season, 9th in the conference from the line, and Hellum's has 5 points after the free throws.
And that's what I'm saying. If he starts to get confidence in the 3-point shot, he is going to be virtually impossible to guard.
Dawes tried to drop it off to Hall. It got deflected away. Sebron trying to knife his way to the lane. He hit the deck. He's slow to get up.
Looks like he's covering his mouth.
This is Honor at the other end with the layup, but Sebron is well behind the play.
It was 4 on 5, and that was just Clemson identifying that they had advantage and took it to the basket.
So Sebron trying to shake off the after effects of the contact on his drive on the previous possession.
I didn't see, if anybody hit him, it was Hall. But he had his arm, he had straight up in the air.
You know, Collins did join the play, Mike, coming in from the right. Maybe there was some inadvertent contact there. Sebron will remain in the basketball game. He leads all scorers with his 11. A couple of threes as well for Darian Sebron. Redshirt sophomore on the handle now against Collins.
I think Collins is a good defensive matchup against Sebron. He's got the quickness and the strength to deal with him off the drive and also out on the perimeter.
Doug Sermon's called the foul underneath against Hall. That's his second. Sermon's joined by Tony Henderson and Justin Porterfield, our officiating crew for this afternoon here in Raleigh. So glad that you're with us for ACC basketball. A nifty pass to Sebron. Crowd liked it. Allen got it back. Sebron thinking about another 3. Tries to drive, knocked away. That was Collins defending.
And he really bailed out Sebron. It was a good defensive run right there, but he had him in a bad way. Picked his dribble up and gave him the foul.
Second foul on Collins. That's Allen. Collins the rebound. Collins is up to 8 boards in the game. This is Tyson, other end, tried to go up and under. Dewana was there to impede his progress. Ball goes across the baseline and will stay with the Tigers.
Well, and we talked about Manny Bates, obviously, being out, and what Kevin Keats wants to get out of the trio of centers that he runs in here, and they really have not given him much of anything in this game. That was the first time of anything close to a block.
And Manny Bates hurt in the first minute of the season in that game November 9th against Bucknell. An innocent-looking play.
Well, they want to try to involve Juan in that pick and roll, too, because he's going to be reluctant to come out from the paint.
Hellum's not bashful. Off the mark. That's 9 boards now for Collins with the basketball. Hall driving down the lane. Got around Dewana. slammed on the brakes.
Yeah, and showed him the ball, too, and Duana left his feet, bid on it, and it was a nice left-handed finish.
14 times this season to double digits. Hall's got 10. Sebron, open jumper. Tried to follow his shot. Collins came away with it. Honor for 3. Hunter Tyson over the top, knocked it out of bounds. It is off of the Tigers.
There's that again, that shape out of front. And he's really got the whole lane area to work in. He's able to go one-on-one. I'll tell you, he's done a lot of work shaping up inside, but showed the ability there to put the ball on the floor and make something happen.
Sebron walks it up. Hall with the 10 points. 5 of 7 from the floor. He's missed his only 3-point chance tonight. Helms couldn't get that pass from Gibson. In transition, Collins stepping around the defender. Sebron has the ball. Tigers get back defensively. With 16:45 to go in our second half. Helms, miscommunication with Allen, out of bounds, and Tiger ball, and the 11th turnover of the game for NC State.
Yeah, and it's just a careless pass that time. Nothing I don't think the defense did, but I could see Smith getting very frustrated out on the floor, and they have not even, he loves to work on the left side, Tom, and he likes that left corner, and the offense has not gotten over there yet.
Tigers with just 3 points in the game off of NC State turnovers so far. Here's Hawes. They drop it low. Hall, good position, and he goes in for the rim bender.
I mean, he gets great defense. He gets great deep position inside. Seals it well. Keeps his defender on his back.
12 points for Hall. 14 straight games with double digits.
How about 24-4 Clemson in the paint?
It was Smith who hit the deck on the drive and a foul.
You receive the ball this deep, and that's great high-low action right there. Tyson is a guy, good look, good seal, everything nicely executed on that play.
So an offensive foul was called on that last play. 12 points for Hall, leading everybody after the slam inside.
Now they're bringing Hall back as a screener in the full court press and a pressure release.
The lead is 3 for the Tigers. They've got the ball. Honor, stop and start. Sebron knocked it away. Bounce pass to Smith. Trying to get it back to Helms. He couldn't hang on to it. Honor up to Dawes. Hesitation, trying to go around Gibson. Held his ground. Collins couldn't finish. Tyson uses the entire rim to drop it in.
That was frenetic action. Back and forth, and just credit Clemson staying after 2 offensive rebounds.
8-0 run for the Tigers. Tough pass for Gibson to catch. Collins was out of bounds while he was making contact with the basketball. So we'll step aside, take a timeout. The Pack has the ball when we come back. Tigers have the lead, 38-33 here in Raleigh. First handful of minutes in our second half. Time for our Fresh Market Discover the Best. Darian Sebron and what he's been able to do this season, Mike.
Despite the 2 threes today, you talked about he only had 5 coming in. Most of those points done, off in the break, in transition, driving the lane. But he has been extraordinarily consistent, and Kevin Keats seems to find that guy every year who makes the step up and becomes a big factor scoring the ball.
Sebron started to get more involved last year after the injury in late January to Devin Daniels. And you saw his numbers from a season ago. 5 points, about 4 boards. This year, almost 20 points per game, 3rd in the conference, and over 10 rebounds per game, 2nd in the conference. And again, those 39 points, a career high against Nebraska, also career high 19 boards in that quadruple overtime win against the Huskers for NC State, who really put a scare into Purdue when it was the #1 team in the nation as well. Sebron the drive, basket and foul. Darion Sebron.
And I think they're going to let him operate. You don't want to give up a three-point play like that. Awfully tough, though. But they're going to stay at home right here. And you can see Honor digging in a little late, but he got back out to the three-point shooter on the perimeter. And really no shot blocker out there for Clemson.
Sebron's basket, just the third 2-point field goal of the game for NC State. 3 of 15. They are 7 of 18 from beyond the arc. Unable to complete the old school three-point play for Sebron. But he still has 13 points to lead the way for the Pack. Hall with a turnaround mid-range. Sebron also had 32 points against Florida State this season. That was up on the cylinder. Dewana.
It's going to be offensive goaltending.
Sebron was driving Dewana.
And that was going down, too. It's so hard to lay off of that, though. And here's the look. I mean, you're just... Yeah, I think that was going to bounce out, but he jumped too soon. He was up there and...
Awfully close. So a wave off the points for NC State. 38-35. A 2-point halftime lead for the Tigers. Honor, the return pass from Hall. Hannon trying to save it on the baseline. Unable to do so. Hayes walks it up. Collins playing with 3 personal fouls. Helms behind the line. That's a 3. Jericho Helms.
Well, you know, the eye test would have you believe that Clemson has a nice lead in this game, but NC State, they made their team word resilient this year, and they have been that, getting back into this game.
Had to come from behind on the road at Virginia Tech. They trailed by 4 at halftime. Trying to do the same this afternoon. They've tied this game at 38 after the second 3 of the game from Helms. That's Hall from Collins.
Well, and Collins got into the lane. Dewana went to him, and P.J. Hall just rolled right up his back.
14 points for Hall to give the lead right back to the Tigers. And that's right on his season average. Collins reaching in, and that could be his 4th. How about the confidence from Helms at one end?
Here's the look.
What a pass.
Yeah, the draw, the wraparound, and
unfortunately for Collins, Mike, reaching in and picking up his 4th, he has to go to Coach Brownell's bench.
And kind of a cheap foul that time. You have to know who you're guarding and, you know, what your foul situation is.
8 made threes in the game for NC State on the interior. Dewana couldn't finish off the jam. Sebron is there. Knocked away to Morcell. Whistle and foul. Bohannon signaled for the infraction. His first. First part of this second half's been a wake-up call for everybody in the building, G-Man.
I think the blood flowing a little bit more in this second 20 minutes.
Morcell at the free throw line.
You know, again, Kevin Keith said, you know, a noon start. I asked him about, you know, game day prep, and he said, hey, you wake up and you're playing. I mean, that's basically what it seems like, and they have their pregame 4 hours beforehand, so it's up at 8, moving around, and then trying to get everything going full bore at noon.
Couple of free throws from Morcell, able to tie the game at 40. NC State now 10 of 13 from the free throw line after the Morcell free throws. Hall off the glass and good. He'll give it a fist bump too. 16 points for Hall.
And, you know, and he's been consistently able to do that because they're staying at home on the perimeter shooters for Clemson, and they, you know, Hall's just playing one-on-one in the paint.
Hall is now 8 of 11 from the floor. Dewana the handoff, and Sebron. Shot clock at 10. Morcell Needs to shoot that basketball. Steps back, just inside the line for 2. Over to Hunter. He'll pull up. Free throw line jumper. Hunter.
Yeah, real streaky offense. And I like it that when they work inside out, they get a good perimeter jump shot after letting Hall get a touch.
First points of the game for Hunter on that jumper, giving the Tigers a 4-point advantage at 11:40 on the game clock. All the way across, Hellam saves it. Morcell driving aggressively, front rim, offensive glass, and it's Sebron face to face with Hall. 15 points, Darion Sebron. First, Hall with the position, muscling his way in. At the other end, Sebron never gave up on the play, battling on the offensive glass in this 2-point game. Raleigh, let's protect the paint. Brought to you by CPI Security, and it's Darion Sebron for the Pack.
EB Duana is one of the premier attackers in the league, but that play made by Darion Sebron, great layup-saving defensive play. And it's only 4 rebounds to this point for him. He's a double-figure rebounder on the season, but Sebron making that play on the offensive rebound. He is the best offensive rebounder in the conference, Tom. About 3.5 a game.
First block of the season, our CPI Security play, and Sebron is 5 of 11 from the floor, 15 points, leading scorer for the Pack. Hall on the other side has 16, and 8 of 11 from the floor for the Tigers. And by the way, the Tigers, they've got 44 points, Mike, 30 of those in the paint.
And also in NC State, we talked about defending the 3. So far in the game, they're 2 of 9. In the half, Clemson has only attempted 1 3, and they've missed that. So really nice job by the Wolfpack driving, taking away a big part of their scoring.
Keeping in mind that the Tigers make almost 9 threes per game with Sebron at the free throw line, and this time he finishes off the old-fashioned 3-point play. Tigers are 5th in the nation in 3-point shooting, 41%, and that leads the ACC. Tonight, just 2 of 9 so far, and Sebron up to 16 points. Clemson 54% shooting in the second half. Hunter, and the numbers are going up. Bonus offense from Chase Hunter. He's got 5.
Well, with P.J. Hall out of the lineup, they can spend a lot more time on the perimeter. Got a little brush screen from Hunter, and nice finish.
Hunter's only hit double figures once this season. That was at Miami. He averages just over 3 points per game. The entry knocked away. Bohannon trying to tiptoe that baseline. That's Wolfpack basketball.
Here's the look. You see, just not even just a switch, and Helm's a little late getting out on the shot.
Coach Brownell trying to plead his case to the officials, unsuccessfully. Sebron deep in the shot clock. Strong drive. Tyson holding his ground. Second chance. Darion Sebron again.
The initial defense, Hunter Tyson, really good, but this is, again, a great offensive rebounder. He beats everybody off the floor second time. Trying to get another old-fashioned 3-point play.
Just the determination, Mike, to stay with it. He's up to 18 points. As he goes to the free throw line, you can see he's approaching his season average, which is 3rd best in the ACC. I mean, he shoots 54% from the floor for the year.
Well, and they need desperately, and that's the second missed free throw in that situation. They got to find that second and third scorer. Helms or Smith need to come alive.
For the Tigers, Hunter has come alive. He's got the last 5 points. He's got the ball right now, working with Bohannon. Dawes inside of 10 of the shot clock. Nick Honor, guarded by Sebron. Trying to shake him and does.
That was terrific defense. I mean, that's about as good as you could play that possession. And you got a guy who's smaller, Nick Honor, and he just made a finish with his offhand.
5 points for Honor, the redshirt junior from Orlando, Florida, and a transfer from Fordham. In his second year in the Clemson program, impressive move inside against Sebron. Helms trying to discard the defender. Sebron came in, volleyballed around, Bohannon across the baseline. It'll stay with NC State.
So far, Tom, NC State has gotten most of the 50-50 balls in this half. The call of the whistle's been going their way.
Six and 3 on their home court. This is Hayes with the drive. 5 points for Hayes.
I said he was struggling, but that was like a layup line shot. Good finish.
At the other end, the Tigers have made their last 5 shots. Bohannon fumbles it away. Hayes in between 2 Tigers. Honor tried to knock it away and got a piece of Hayes. First on Honor.
There's a look, a nice little screen right there, and the defense is supposed to be a switch. And Tyson a little late getting to that, but that's still a good finish with the left hand.
So Hayes at the free throw line for NC State. 0-2 in conference play on their home floor. Before the next free throw, a message from Coyote Tractor.
There are better known tractors in the world than Coyote, but there's not a single tractor ever been built that's better equipped to do the dirty work. Coyote, we dig dirt.
The win on Tuesday at Virginia Tech was the first in conference play this year for NC State. Now 13 of 17 from the free throw line as a team.
And that's a big story because Clemson only 2 of 3 from the line, so a big gap there in scoring.
Tigers went to the line 16 times in their loss on Tuesday against Virginia. It's a whistle against NC State.
It's going to be Duana, I believe.
Tony Henderson had the call underneath. Second on Duana.
Well, and NC State's got some room to be physical. They've got 5 more fouls before they put them in the bonus. And Wolfpack already shooting free throws for the rest of the half.
Oh, easy 2.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to defend a post guy on the move. You know, when he's a stationary target, it's a little easier. But just kind of circled the lane and got a great look.
18 points for Hall and 9 of 12 from the floor. High percentage variety in that last drive. And feed to Hall out of the corner. Smith with a miss from 3-point distance.
He has not had any easy looks in this game.
Honor had it stripped away by Helms, who saves it to Hayes. Smith, Mike, is 0 for 6. They're all 3-point chances. And he's now 0 for 7. I think the signal is a flop warning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just, Terquavian Smith is just trying to do everything that he can.
Flop warning has been confirmed.
You know, to get something going, and he's going to come out of the game for a little bit. Thomas Allen will come in and replace him.
So Smith is now 0 for 7 from the floor, all 3-point attempts. This is after he made 4 3-pointers on 9 tries.
Well, and besides Sebron, Allen has been their most reliable shooter in the game. So I think, you know, Kevin Keith's just looking for, you know, he's looking for points. And, you know, normally it'd be his freshman guard, but Allen gets the nod.
So the freshman from Greenville, North Carolina, has a seat on the bench. Smith had made 11 threes in the previous 2 games. Hall again, and it's another jam for P.J. Hall.
Just the way he's getting open in the seals and the dunks. Just great footwork, great movement.
20 points in the game for Hall and 12 this half. He's had at least 3 dunks in the second 20 minutes. Helms down the lane, working with Duana. Hunter went up and committed the foul. P.J. Hall. Good movement without the basketball, demanding it, scoring, and the emotion and the effort. 20 points from P.J. Hall. ACC basketball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. We resolve to continue stepping up for you and your family. Back in Raleigh, North Carolina, ACC hoops in the Pack and the Tigers. Closely contested in the second half. Pack led by 9 in the first half, and Tigers had an 8-point lead, but this one has gone back and forth here in the second 20 minutes with 7:38 to go, Mike. 53-49, and P.J. Hall, what an afternoon with 20 points, just 2 shy of his career high.
Those opportunities, and that was against Drake. Gotta love the Drake.
Love the Drake.
And, you know, for him, though, I mean, he's the beneficiary of playing with great three-point shooters. And he's going to see a lot of that, I think, over the course of the year. And that's against a pretty good shot blocker inside as well.
DeWanna at the free throw line. First trip there this afternoon, 67% of the season. Ebenezer DeWanna. Sophomore, 6'11", 225 pounds from Ghana. Played his prep ball at the Heritage School in Georgia. A couple of free throws. And his first 2 points.
Mentioned the 3 guys. It's going to be different people in different games who are going to step up and play well in that 5 position.
Hunter has stepped up for the Tigers in this second half. Hunter with 5 points, and he's made both of his shot attempts. One was a 3. Gives it off to Tyson. Tries to spin on Helms, and DeWanna up and under Hunter Tyson.
Strong move. I mean, you got with him, and now Clemson going to play a little zone, and they're going to test that 3-point shooting by the Wolfpack. Try to keep them out of the paint.
Critical basket from Tyson. He's got just 6 in the game. That's well below his season average of 12. Turnover. Dawes stumbles.
DeWanna's going to get the trip.
How about the Tigers, Mike? They've made their last 8 shots. DeWanna picking up his 3rd personal.
Here's the look, and they just little fake and reverse dribble. Terrific finish inside.
Senior from Monroe, North Carolina. Had his first career double-double. And the Tigers win against their rival South Carolina earlier this season. Entry to Hall. Not in a good spot. Up ahead and running Allen.
As a counterpoint to Sebron, he's been the best player today for NC State. Nice finish off the break.
10 points for Allen. The lead down to 2.
NC State really trying to keep the ball out of the hands of their primary ball handlers against that press.
Tigers have won 2 of the last 3 meetings between the teams, including last January in overtime, and that's Dawes. 12 points for Dawes. Of course, the Tigers have not won here, Mike, in Raleigh since 2015, and they won at 68-57.
NC State seems a little stagnant against this zone.
Hayes trying to start the offense late in the shot clock. Helms is open. Can't cash it in. Hunter Tyson against DeWanna. And DeWanna picked up his 4th.
Yeah, they're not worried so much about fouls in that center position right now.
Tigers have made 9 straight field goals. Hemingway has it. Has not scored in the game, only attempted 1 3-pointer. 68% shooting in the second half for the Clemson Tigers. In low Tyson. Hot potato pass, unable to put it up on the glass. Other way Hayes against Hall. Challenged him. Dawes came away with it. The foul was called as Allen got a piece of Dawes. Looking to run the fast break. First foul on Allen.
Still only a 5th team foul. So So Clemson not shooting right there. Saved a couple of maybe a possible break situation.
NC State's won 4 in a row at home against the Tigers. Hemingway, tough catch.
And he got, oh boy. It was going to be a tough shot, and he gets fouled on the three-point attempt.
Sebron picking up the foul, his third.
Yeah, when you can't close out right into the guy. If you want to jump by him, that's fine.
Just the 4th free throw of the game for the Tigers. And just the 10th attempted free throw this season for Alex Hemingway, the junior from Newburgh, Indiana. He's got one more coming.
That just illustrates what they're doing in the paint area, Tom. I mean, they haven't made a ton of threes, and they haven't gone to the free throw.
Hemingway makes them all. He's into the box score. Largest lead of the second half right now for the Tigers, up by 7. Kevin Keats wants a timeout.
40 of Clemson's 60 points in the paint.
4:51 to go in regulation. Pack and Tigers. Seven-point lead for the Tigers. 4:51 to go in regulation. Time for the Coyote Tractor turning point, and it involves P.J. Hall and his big day on the floor.
Really nice job, particularly in the perimeter guys, delivering the ball where he can do something with it. He's done a nice job keeping people on his back, and it's just been a series of dunks and finishes at the rim for him inside today.
20 points for Hall, just 2 shy of his career high. The field goals made is a career high for Hall, for the sophomore from Spartanburg, South Carolina, and Gorman High School. NC State with the basketball, and Allen. Shot clock at 10 for Helms. Sebron, another 3. Comes up short. He's already made 2 in the game. He got the ball back. Driving deflected by Hall into Dawes.
That's good hustle play and offensive foul. I think it's going to be on Chase Hunter.
It's going to be on Dawes, Mike, and be his first.
Yeah, just the push off, and really, I mean, no need to do that. He had Jericho Helms on his hip.
Just 29% as a team from the floor for NC State. Helms, the wide miss. Dewana had a chance at it.
We're going to call it NC State ball. You can see in any kind of screening action that Dewana is involved with, they don't even pay attention to him. They're staying with primary scorers.
Wolfpack just 1 for their last 8 shots as we cross the 4-minute mark through the second half. Russell. Shot clock down to 3. Russell trying to beat it with a leaner. The foul is called, offensive foul on the drive by Morsell.
I tell you, Wake has really done a nice job through the transfer portal with Laravia and Alondas Williams, Dallas Hunter, or Dallas Walton.
Big man inside, Walton. Alondas Williams is a star in this league. Transferred from Oklahoma. You want to stay tuned for that game. The Orange and the Demon Deeks. So the lead is 9. There's only 32.5 seconds left on the clock. How did that happen? Okay. That's a lot better. 3 minutes, 25 seconds.
We got caught in a black hole.
Yeah.
Tom, and
something happened there.
Time went away.
You know, the gravity in a black hole is so strong that not even light can escape it. I digress. Inside of 3.5 minutes to go. why they call it a black hole.
That's what they used to call
Some called you a black hole, Mike.
Yeah, they called me that when the ball went into the post. My teammates called me that.
Morcell. Collins is back in with his 4 personals. Tries to thread that pass to Sebron. Over the head and good. 20 points, Darian Sebron.
And now it's going to be, we talked about Clemson handling the pressure. It's what they're going to have to do the last 3 minutes of this game. And how about NC State is going with Thomas Allen and Morcell out there instead of the freshman Smith.
7-point game. Tigers in possession of the basketball. 2:40 on the game clock for Dawes. Hall, leading scorer for the Tigers with 20. Dawes on the run. Softly off the glass. Lost his shoe behind the play. So a power play at the other end for NC State. They go for the 3. Helms ends up with the basketball. Sebron got it back, carving his way to the rim, and he was fouled on the play.
So here's the look, and when they had P.J. Hall lifted, now it takes the shot blocker out of the lane. Right here, you see that just handoff, and he's made some terrific layups. But then blowout in turn 3. Had to come in to make a pit stop.
Dawes has 14 points with Sebron at the free throw line. 21 points for Darian Sebron.
And this is, if NC State can get back in this game at the free throw line, stop the clock, ugly the game up a little bit.
21st attempt from the line by NC State. We shouldn't be surprised, Mike. They led the league in free throw makes and free throw attempts coming into the afternoon.
And that also lets them get set in the press as well.
Sebron's up to 22 points, 6 of 9 from the free throw line.
Wow, now that press is designed to get a turnover, double teaming out front.
Again, the Tigers have not won here in Raleigh since 2015. Honor Hall.
Smart play that time by Hunter Tyson. Not going back up with a tough shot, but they get to run some clock.
1:45 on the game clock. 10 on the shot clock. Double team on Honor. It calls a timeout. 1:41 on the game clock. With a 7-point lead for Brad Brownell and the Clemson Tigers.
Now, not a bad timeout. You still have 2 left if you're Clemson. However, if you're the Tigers, you've got to stay out of the corners like that because you're going to get trapped hard.
Forced to use that timeout. Tigers are looking for their 10th win of the season. While NC State, thanks to that victory earlier this week, snapped a 5-game losing streak. They had lost 6 of their last 7, Mike.
See, against these double teams, too, and the pressure that I think that P.J. Hall is going to be a good available outlet if you can find him.
10 of 14 from the floor for Hall. Here's our game summary. 20 points for Hall, 22 for Sebron after those most recent free throws. And NC State has marched to the line 21 times. Clemson just 6. And the Tigers dominating points in the paint in this game. 44-16. Hall outside of the paint. Helms the board. Sebron driving and scoring. He really realized the situation.
And nobody really stopped him out front, although that's easier said than done. And if he can get to that right hand, that's going to be it's going to be an automatic finish.
This is Dawes with Tyson. Flipped it off the backboard out of bounds and off of NC State.
Boy, Clemson got lucky. That was not a great take off of the break.
Sebron, 16 points this half. His teammate Smith is 0 for 7 from the floor and has a seat on the bench right now. Hall. Dawes. Directs a little traffic.
No hurry. High pick and roll.
1 minute to go, G.
High pick and roll.
Harlan's entry. Hall spins and shoots.
Late in the game, you got to get something going to the rim. That fadeaway didn't have a lot of energy behind it.
It is a 5-point game. Sebron to cut it to 2. Morcell reaching in on Dawes. Third foul on Morcell. Free throws upcoming. Both teams in the bonus. 37.9 seconds to go in the game. Just the 7th free throw of the game for the Tigers. They've done a good job defensively against NC State. Pack's fewest points this season had been 65. Here they are at 59, and this is what's upcoming. That's for Coach Brownell.
Well, and that's the thing. You know, the culture that Brad Brownell has built is on defense and always in the best in the country. But now he's got this great perimeter offense, and now showing he can flex his muscles inside as well.
16 points for Dawes. Those were his first free throws of the afternoon. Sebron against 2 defenders. Couldn't get it to drop. Tyson ended up on the floor and picked up the foul. And so for the Pack, leading a late comeback in this one against Clemson after trailing by 2 at halftime. Here's what lies ahead for Kevin Keats.
Yeah, at Louisville, back where he was an assistant coach under Rick Pitino. That's 2 tough games at Louisville, at Duke. And then home, Virginia, and Virginia Tech seems to be rounding into shape, and Notre Dame has all of a sudden become a factor in the conference.
Sebron misses a critical free throw, 31.3 on the game clock. One of 2 for Sebron. 25 points in the game. 8th time this season for Sebron. 20 points or more. Will it be enough this afternoon? That's 6-point lead.
That's the thing, Tom, with Sebron. If he's going into the rim, you got to make sure he doesn't get the shot up on the basket for a 3-point play. You know, you got to make him just settle for 2 free throws.
So Sebron has the last 7 points for NC State.
And still, even with
Mike, just before we get to that, don't forget, Syracuse and Wake Forest. Buddy Boeheim, 4th in the league.
Yeah, Boeheim he's 1 and 1A in the scouting report, and those numbers against a lot of people draped around him. But I was going to say, for NC State, you still got a foul here under the double bonus. So if you try to get a steal here, it's still a 1-on-1 situation. He can inbounder can run the floor. Collins.
There's the defensive pressure. Honor breaks free of it and gives it to Tyson.
Pull it out.
Helms fouls Tyson. 22.4 on the game clock.
Well, you got Honor at 90%, Tyson at 80% from the line. So some quality free throw shooters out there.
Tyson to the stripe for the first time this afternoon for Coach Brownell.
1-on-1.
80% of the season, as Mike mentioned. Hunter Tyson. He knew he had missed it right away.
That was like a walk up on a missed putt, which I'm very familiar with.
Sebron with the drive, and Hall has the block.
That's a terrific defensive play, and he is so good going to his right.
There's only 15 seconds left on the clock. They have to shoot quickly and crash the boards. This is Sebron with a layup. Tyson got popped in the face, too. He's shaken up. 27 points for Sebron. Timeout. 8.8 on the game clock. And a 4-point game. These teams have played some crazy games recently, Mike. 2019 in January, a win for the Pack against Clemson, 69-67, when Braxton Beverly hit that buzzer-beating three-pointer. Clemson was up 6 points with 24 seconds to go. Not quite as much time, but the difference is 4. And P.J. Hall, who just made a great defensive play on a driving Sebron, has been filling it up with 20 points, Mike.
Yeah, and he got started at point-blank range and really lived in the paint area. He got whoever was guarding him on his back, got great position, finished with both hands. A lot of dunks in the game, just a terrific all around. You know, you come in and you're that efficient. 16 shots to get 20 points.
Able to get position on the inside is a big part of the advantage of points in the paint. 44-20 in the game for Clemson. Time for State, though. Just got a bucket from Sebron. Well, don't forget, Mike, we're going to continue with ACC basketball. Syracuse at Wake Forest.
Wake has not lost at home. Steve Forbes really has them playing well. That you know, for right now in the inbounds play, you got to get 4 guys coming to the ball. They'll probably have some screening action. You know,
Sebron, Mike, leaves everybody with his 27 points.
Up the guys out on the floor, if you can get to Hemingway and foul him.
Honor. Got fouled right away. Thomas Allen and Helms were there. Second foul on Allen. So Honor with his first chance.
18 of 20 coming into this game. Has not been to the free throw line.
Saw Collins set the check back in. He's got 4 personals, but does have 11 rebounds in the game for the Tigers. There's Honor at the line. 5 points for Honor. Collins is back in.
And you know, if they hold on, Tom, winning it away, only 3 made threes. Really dominated the paint. This is going to be a terrific road win.
Yeah, normally they rely on the 3, Mike, making 9 per game. Not today. Morcell with a 3. 1.8 on the clock. 9 points for him. Inbounds to Honor, fouled with 0.9 on the game clock. Right now, with Honor going to the free throw line, a 1-possession game. Allen picked up his 3rd. And our ACC basketball doubleheader continues with Syracuse and Wake Forest right after the conclusion of this one from PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina. Honor just made a couple of free throws.
And that should about do it. Boy, big time road win. Their second one of the conference season.
They'll be 2-1 away from Clemson, South Carolina, with less than a second to go, and that will do it. The final count is 70-65. Tigers win on the road. Coming up next, Syracuse travels to Wake. Check your local listings. For Mike Jaminski, I'm Tom Wormy. So long from Raleigh.